Chapter 1, The Heiress in Shadows. The mansion was silent, almost oppressively so. The polished floors reflected the dim glow of the chandelier, and the sound of the rain tapping against the windows filled the emptiness. She wandered through the hall, heels clicking softly, feeling a heaviness settle in her chest. "I just can't sleep tonight," she murmured to herself, drawing her arms around her shoulders. "Everything feels so empty." A soft knock at the door startled her, and when the door opened, a tall figure stood there, calm and composed. "Are you all right? You shouldn't be wandering alone," a voice said gently. "It's late, and it's not safe out here." She hesitated, then whispered, I just feel so lonely. The house feels enormous, and I can't shake the emptiness." "You're not invisible," the figure replied softly, stepping closer. "Not to me. You never have been. Sit here. Stay with me for a while." She sank into a nearby armchair, wrapping her arms tighter around herself, and he perched near her, careful not to crowd her space. The warmth radiating from him was comforting, and her pulse quickened, though she didn't know why. "It's just so quiet." "I hate it," she admitted, staring at the rain streaming down the window. "It's like everyone else has a life, and I'm stuck here alone." "You're not alone now," came the gentle reply. "I'll be here. You don't have to face this by yourself." A faint buzz from her phone broke the quiet. A message appeared, teasing yet familiar. "So, alone with him? Hope he's treating you well." A small, self-conscious smile tugged at her lips. She glanced up at him, feeling the intensity of his gaze. I don't know what to do with all this attention," she murmured, a nervous laugh escaping her. "You won't need anyone else tonight," came the quiet assurance. "Just stay here. Let me stay with you." As he reached forward, a strand of hair fell across her face, and he tucked it behind her ear. She shivered slightly at the gentle touch, feeling a warmth she hadn't expected. "Thank you," she whispered softly. They settled into a quiet companionship, the storm outside echoing the subtle, unspoken tension between them. The space felt intimate despite the vastness of the mansion. Thoughts of someone else waiting to tease her flickered briefly in her mind, but for the moment, she let herself sink into the comfort of his presence, the soft words, the quiet protection, and the gentle closeness that made her heart flutter. The rain continued to tap against the windows, and in the warm glow of the room, she finally allowed herself to feel safe, and unexpectedly, alive. Chapter 2, The Playful Rival. The next morning, the mansion felt brighter, but the atmosphere was already charged with a new energy. She moved through the halls, trying to ignore the lingering warmth from the previous night. The memory of quiet words and gentle touches made her heart race, though she told herself it was nothing more than gratitude. A sudden laugh echoed through the hallway, light and teasing, breaking her thoughts. "So, the heiress is finally awake. Did you enjoy last night's company?" The voice carried mischief, and she froze, recognizing it immediately. She turned to see him leaning casually against the doorway, an impish smile playing across his lips. The air seemed to shift around him, playful and confident. "I thought I'd stop by and make sure you weren't getting too comfortable with your new protector," he said, his eyes sparkling with teasing intent. A flicker of annoyance crossed the calm presence behind her, his jaw tightening almost imperceptibly. "He shouldn't be here," came the quiet reply, but the tone carried a firmness that made her pulse quicken. She felt torn, caught between the warmth of reassurance and the thrill of playful energy. "He's not doing anything wrong," she murmured, though even she could feel the tension building between them. The playful figure leaned closer, brushing an imaginary strand of hair from her face. "I just wanted to make sure you're treated properly," he said, his voice softening just enough to make her cheeks heat. "I would hate to think anyone else gets all your attention." A subtle shadow crossed the other presence nearby, his eyes narrowing slightly as he stepped closer, standing protectively at her side. The silent warning was clear. He wouldn't let anyone take even a small piece of her attention. She could feel the conflicting emotions swirling around her, comfort, tension, excitement, and a strange fluttering in her chest. I appreciate the concern, she said softly, glancing between the two men. The playful energy in the room was electric, a delicate balance between charm and intensity. The teasing figure smirked, clearly enjoying the tension he'd caused. Just making sure you remember who's been here for you all along, he said lightly, a spark of jealousy hidden behind the laughter. She laughed softly herself, though her heart was pounding, feeling the mix of care, possessiveness, and playful rivalry. The quiet figure beside her didn't speak this time, but the warmth of his presence was unmistakable, a silent promise that he would always be there, even when words weren't spoken. The morning passed in a swirl of subtle glances, light teasing, and unspoken protection. She felt the stirrings of something she hadn't allowed herself to recognize before, a connection that was both safe and thrilling, complicated by the undeniable charm and daring confidence of another. By the time the sun filtered fully into the room, she realized the house no longer felt empty. Instead, it felt charged with possibility, anticipation, and a tension that made every heartbeat feel alive.